On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Biomedical.
Relating to the application of the natural sciences, especially biology and physiology, to clinical medicine and healthcare.
Examples:
Biomedical assay. Cutting-edge biomedical. Biomedical engineering focuses on developing new medical technologies and innovations to improve patient health outcomes.
Lymphoma.
A type of cancer that affects the body's lymphatic system, which is responsible for fighting infection and disease.
Examples:
Non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Childhood lymphoma. My aunt was diagnosed with lymphoma and is undergoing chemotherapy.
Avert.
To prevent something dangerous or undesirable from happening.
Examples:
Avert disaster. Avert a strike. The dam systematically releases large amounts of water to avert flooding during the rainy season.
Infect.
To affect a person, an animal, or a plant with a disease-causing organism.
Examples:
Infect other animal species. Infect a computer with a virus. Children often infect parents with this head cold.
Homicide.
The act or instance of killing another person, murder, manslaughter, or other unlawful violent killings.
Examples:
Mass homicide. Serial homicide. The detective was called to investigate a homicide in the city.
Bipolar.
Of, relating to, or occurring in both polar regions, of or relating to manic depressive illness.
Examples:
Bipolar depression. A bipolar semiconductor. The physician prescribed medication to treat bipolar disorder.
Schizophrenia.
A severe mental disorder in which a person has a distorted view of reality and may experience hallucinations, delusions, and disordered thinking and behavior.
Examples:
Schizophrenia spectrum disorder. Schizophrenia treatment. The schizophrenia patient was experiencing severe auditory hallucinations.
Anorexia.
A serious eating disorder characterized by an intense fear of gaining weight or becoming overweight, along with a persistent refusal to eat an adequate amount of food, resulting in significant weight loss, malnutrition, and a wide range of physical and psychological consequences.
Examples:
Anorexia symptoms. Anorexia treatment. Many people suffer from anorexia nervosa and require professional treatment to recover.
Borderline.
In a position or state of being almost, but not quite something, on the edge or boundary of something.
Examples:
Borderline personality. Borderline case. The teacher offered to review the papers of students who received borderline grades to provide them with feedback.
Morbid.
Characterized by a preoccupation with death or unhealthy topics or behaviors, gruesome or disturbing.
Examples:
Morbid fascination. Morbid joke. The decayed and morbid atmosphere of the abandoned house scared her.
Neuropsychiatric.
Relating to mental disorders that have a neurological or physiological basis, or to the study of the interplay between neurological and psychiatric phenomena.
Examples:
Neuropsychiatric disorder. Neuropsychiatric evaluation. Researchers are studying the neuropsychiatric effects of certain medications on the brain.
Confession.
A formal statement in which one admits that they have done something wrong or illegal.
Examples:
A confession of guilt. A confession of faith. The prisoner made a full confession and admitted to his crime.
Unpopular.
Not liked, supported, or approved by many people, having an unfavorable reputation.
Examples:
Unpopular decision. An unpopular opinion. The politician's stance on controversial issues made him an unpopular candidate for many voters.
Impediment.
A hindrance or obstruction in doing something.
Examples:
Have a speech impediment. Biological impediment. The language barrier was an impediment to their communication.
Rethink.
To consider again a plan, idea, etc., especially to change it.
Examples:
Rethink a marketing plan. Rethink the role of the manager. We have to rethink our company's product lineup for further growth.
Biochemical.
Relating to the chemical processes and substances that occur within living organisms.
Examples:
Biochemical reaction. Complex biochemical. Biochemical research is essential to understanding the complex chemical reactions in living organisms.
Imbalance.
A situation in which two or more things are not equal or equally treated.
Examples:
Trade imbalance. Symptoms of hormonal imbalance. An imbalance in certain substances causes problems with brain function.
Simplistic.
Oversimplified or lacking in complexity or depth, characterized by an attempt to explain something complex or multifaceted with overly vague or simple terms.
Examples:
Simplistic approach. Simplistic design. The politician's solution to the problem was too simplistic to solve the underlying issue.
Surreal.
Strange and unreal, having an oddly dreamlike quality.
Examples:
surreal number, surreal art. The dreamlike quality of the painting gave it a surreal feel.
Neuron.
A cell that is specialized to carry information within the brain and between the brain and other parts of the body.
Examples:
excite the neurons, neuron cell body. Our body transfers information along each neuron using an electrical impulse.
Synapse.
The fact or state of failing to finish an activity and of stopping using, making, or doing it.
Examples:
synapse circuit, and at a synapse. Animals transmit nerve impulses through synapses.
Cognition.
The psychological process of perception and learning and reasoning, the mental action or process by which knowledge and understanding are developed in the mind.
Examples:
social cognition, cognition disorder. The professor focused on the research of infant cognition.
Obsessive.
Relating to or characterized by an obsession or excessive interest in a particular thing or activity, tending to dwell on or repeat certain thoughts or behaviors.
Examples:
obsessive compulsive disorder, obsessive thoughts. Her obsessive behavior towards perfectionism often led to burnout.
Compulsive.
Relating to or involving an irresistible urge to do something repeatedly or excessively, often in a way that is harmful or detrimental to one's well-being or relationships.
Examples:
compulsive gambling, compulsive behavior. He had a compulsive need to check the stove was turned off every time he left the house.
Connectome.
A complete map of all the neural connections or pathways in the brain or nervous system, often created using advanced imaging technologies.
Examples:
connectome mapping, connectome plasticity. Scientists are mapping the human brain's connectome to understand different cognition aspects better.
Alzheimer.
A neurodegenerative disease that causes memory loss, cognitive decline, and behavioral issues, is the most common cause of dementia in older adults.
Examples:
Alzheimer's brain, Alzheimer's risk factors. My grandmother has Alzheimer's disease, requires special care and attention from her caregivers.
Detour.
A route that deviates from the main or direct one, usually taken to avoid something such as traffic or construction, a diversion from the usual or expected course of action.
Examples:
detour sign, unnecessary detour. We had to take a detour because of the road construction ahead.
Myocardial.
Relating to the muscular tissue of the heart. Myocardial infarction. Myocardial fibrosis. The physical examination revealed no abnormalities in the patient's myocardial structure.
Infarction.
The obstruction or blockage of blood flow to a specific area or organ, leading to tissue damage or death, commonly used to describe a myocardial infarction, heart attack.
Examples:
Acute infarction, cerebral infarction. Time is critical when treating a myocardial infarction.
Arrhythmia.
A medical condition in which the heartbeat is irregular, too slow, or too fast, which can cause the heart to pump blood less effectively and lead to a variety of symptoms such as palpitations, fatigue, shortness of breath, chest pain, or even fainting.
Examples:
Arrhythmia treatment, heart arrhythmia. The patient was diagnosed with an arrhythmia, causing irregular heartbeats.
Lesion.
A damaged or abnormal area of tissue in the body, usually caused by injury or disease.
Examples:
Muscle lesion, brain lesion. The doctor examined the lesion on the patient's skin to determine if it was cancerous.
Dorsolateral.
Relating to or situated on the back and side of something, particularly a body part, such as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is a region of the brain involved in higher cognitive functions.
Examples:
Dorsolateral pathway, dorsolateral approach. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive functions such as decision-making and problem-solving.
Prefrontal.
In or about the foremost part of the frontal lobe of the brain.
Examples:
Prefrontal bone, prefrontal region. Research shows that damage to the prefrontal cortex leads to increased aggression.
Gyrus.
A convolution of the surface of the brain.
Examples:
Gyrus function, cerebral gyrus. The inferior temporal gyrus is involved in object recognition.
Cortical.
Relating to or located in the outer layer of an organ or body structure, particularly the cortex of the brain.
Examples:
Cortical neurons, cortical activity. The MRI showed activity in the cortical region of the patient's brain.
Overshoot.
To go further than the end of or past something you intended to stop or turn.
Examples:
Overshoot a target, overshoot the mark. The department may overshoot its budget ceiling this year.
Hallucinate.
To experience a seemingly real perception of something that does not actually exist, usually as a result of a mental illness or drug use.
Examples:
Start to hallucinate. hallucinate with drug. Sleep-deprived people gradually lose their concentration and may hallucinate.
Delusion.
A false belief or impression that is firmly held despite evidence to the contrary.
Examples:
Grand delusion. Labor under a delusion. He had a delusion that he was a millionaire.
Trajectory.
The curved path followed by an object moving through space.
Examples:
Career trajectory. A trajectory missile. The company has shown an excellent growth trajectory over the years.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. Traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Overestimate.
To estimate something to be greater in amount or importance than it really is.
Examples:
Overestimate the value. Overestimate the amount of time spent. He tends to overestimate his abilities.
Underestimate.
To think or suppose that a quantity, price, or size is smaller than it is.
Examples:
Underestimate an enemy. Underestimate the probability. They frequently underestimated their abilities and felt inferior.